Man, it's good to see you. How you been? Thanks for tuning in. So glad you did. I'm Jimmy. We are making it work. Another day on Flat Rate. Just went over 30,000 subscribers this morning. Thanks for all the support. Channel's doing great. You guys are great. Well, we're working hard, I'll tell you what. Getting some shoulder build up from all the rowing. Making it happen. I'm going to take you to work with me today. If you're new here, I'm a flat rate mechanic, master mechanic, although my ASCs have expired. So technically I'm not, I guess. Been doing this 45 years. Do everything from hot rod stuff to normal cars, classics and Europeans, exotics, electrical, oil changes, tire rotation, whatever we need to get done, that's what we do. And I'm not going to put you on the clock. I won't be able to pay you, but I won't charge you. So it's free. Just hang out, see how the day goes. I think we're going to be busy today from what I hear and what it looks like on the schedule, but we'll see. We got a transmission in for that Nissan I looked at about a month ago. You've got to pull the alternator on this bus to match it up. They can't find one apparently, so they want to take it off to see if they can find one better. What else is going on? I think that's about it. Got a couple of little things, but we'll see. We're gonna do what we can to make things work and to keep the world moving, keep the lights on, learn things, have fun, stuff like that. So let's get the shop open up. Let's get to it. Stay tuned. First thing we gotta do, get this alternator off. Someone wants to see just how pretty it is when you have it in your hand. That's what we're gonna do. I need a height apparatus where it might one be. Look at that son of a gun, huh? This is the one where Ford always amazed me, and it's been since, like, I don't know, 94. Half-inch doesn't fit, 3/8 is sloppy. They make it in between. You just need a special tool. But luckily, a lot of people wallow it out. So sometimes a half-inch will fit. Let's see. Yeah, this one seems like it'll probably fit. It'll just be a little snug as a bug in a rug. Holy moly. That might be stronger than your average Ford V8 tensioner. It worked, so that's good. No, I didn't disconnect the batteries yet. I think I'm gonna need to though, because it might get crazy otherwise. I'm kind of thinking it'd be good if we can take this off and not disable everything so we can move it off the lift. I do have a transmission on a Nissan to do. A couple other things, I think. I might need to get a regular box wrench. It's not gonna fit. This bottom bolt, there's no threaded part of the bolt. Everything has a nut on the back, it looks like. This is the bottom alternator bolt. Let's see here, 14 millimeter. And the back one is not the same size, I don't think. 9/16. Same thing. 14 is just slightly smaller than a 9/16. I'm only loosening this just to get it out of the way so I can pull the alternator out here. Oh, I didn't loosen that yet. Interesting. It doesn't fit out. Wonder how they got the bolt in there. What do you think? Just a hammer? Not my concern, I guess. This is just the start on this bus. Said it's not charging. Got a bad battery. We got to get it charging, put an alternator and a battery in it, and then go from there and see what else is going on electrically. We'll see how all that goes. We'll see what parts of it were heard and what parts of it weren't heard. The nut on the back won't turn, kind of strange. Maybe it's part of the... No, it's not. Okay. It just kind of bound up. Now, the other concern is there's about 8 washers stacked in there. the best thing I think in that situation is you can buy chunks of spacers and spacers whatever size you want. You can make one where all you need is a hacksaw, a little bit of patience. You can make a one-piece spacer. It's a lot easier than fumbling with all those washers, but not up to me. Like a lot of things in this world. Kind of in a weird mood today. My brother-in-law, Chris, he passed away yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon or so. He's been battling blood cancer, and then it turned to brain cancer and lung cancer, and so he didn't really it didn't sound like he wanted to fight anymore. He just basically, my last few conversations with him were, I'm dying. So he's gone now, 68 years old. Alright, this is going to be I might have to loosen that lower bracket from the motor because the alternator's still tight and it's not bolted in. I don't know if there's bolts from the back. I hope not. So I might have to disconnect the battery. I was wondering if I could tilt it forward, but I can always just reconnect the battery and tape up the cable end. Just think about something else. Something's happening. I don't know what, but something. Neither of these bolts fit out, and it looks like it's squeezed really well, and I think this bolt might pass through that. So I guess I have to loosen the compressor. I don't know what else is holding that to be able to get that bolt to come forward more. Or hear me out, I have an idea. A couple gallons of gas, some matches. Problem solved for everybody. No? Okay. Alright. You guys are so nice. I'm just thinking, I did disconnect the battery, by the way. One of the other guys had put a battery in it so we could move it. So the terminals weren't even tight. I just tugged on one to see if it was tight, and it popped off. So that's cool. Of course, this is a bolt and a nut too. Me personally, when I made these brackets, I would have drilled and tapped them for threads, so you could just thread a bolt in and be done with it. But that's not how this custom bus conversion stuff works. At some point, someone said, we need more AC. And he said, well, let's get a compressor on there somehow. We'll pay a mechanic an hour and a half. All right, that might be a slight exaggeration. The alternator's moving while I loosen the compressor. That's a good sign. It's a good sign that I might drop all these washers. That's the good sign. I think these two bolts and this one are the only thing holding this compressor on, I suppose. I wonder how much labor they charged. I didn't look. 0.8 or something, I'm guessing. They're like, oh look, it's right there, so it's easy, right? Oh yeah, it's easy. Everything's easy from the desk. It's one of the problems. You come in a sketchy mood to begin with, and then you start looking at numbers and data and stuff like that. And it's never good. You should just let it go, I guess. But oops, I have to edit that out. Look at this conglomeration and nonsense. Holy moly, man. What in the hell? There's like 6 wires going to the back. I'm gonna have to label them somehow with the paint pen. Gotta inspect these wires really close. Tell you right now, I smell cigarette smoke. It's not gonna go well for somebody. People stand out in front of the shop and smoke, so we all get smoked with them. Oop, I gotta edit that out. There you go. Pop that alternator out for me real quick so we can match it up. Okay, good luck. Call AutoZone, see what they have. Scary. Another Ford. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Sorry to my Ford fans. We just happen to be working on a lot of Fords right now. I don't know why. Dodges too. We got some Dodgers, don't worry. 99,000 miles. Very clean. 99,000 miles, 2016. Got an oil leak. Got his oil changed at the Speedy oil change place. And they said, we see oil leaks. Valve cover's just puking oil everywhere. It's terrible. That is terrible. It's not turbocharged, so. But this thing's just, it's almost like someone left the oil cap off, or the oil cap's leaking, or. That looks like a new oil cap. Squeaky clean inside, just like the car is. So this thing, wow. There's oil on the transmission. It's just everywhere. We know it needs a valve cover. I'm going to lift it up and look from underneath. It's kind of hard to tell with the valve cover just spewing oil everywhere. It's going to be hard to tell what else might be leaking. Might need to do a valve cover gasket, clean it all off, see how it goes from there. This car had a brake pulsation too, so he's going to do rotors and pads in the front. He's got tire shine all over the rotors, doesn't help. And they're out of parallel. You can feel it when you drive, foot goes like that. And we're going to do the valve cover gasket with spark plugs. They declined the spark plugs last oil change, 100,000 miles. Go ahead and de-wheel this bad girl. Parts are on the way. It's almost like a normal job. Except for the gravity check. Other than that, just a regular job. Probably can't see it too good without a light, but you can see these marks. That's contamination on the surface causing that. So I'm gonna fix them up. I'm gonna knock out the brakes first. I'm guessing everything's gonna come together at the same time, the brakes and the valve cover gasket parts and all. If I do this, get it knocked out, I can put the wheels on. I don't even need to lift from that after that. So should be 2 Allens inside, I think 8mm. I think 8mm. That's a 7. Let's try it since we grabbed it by mistake. See? Things work out the way they're supposed to. 7mm. I grabbed the wrong one and it's right. And these pads are not bad. They're like 8mm or so. 7 or 8mm, but I'm not going to put new rotors on and put the old pads back on, especially when it looks like there's a contamination issue as well. Why are you being so silly, man? What are you doing? All that just for that? All that commotion just to give me a hard time? Sometimes you got to push these slides. The threads will hang up in the pad bracket. You got to kind of coerce them to go back. And sometimes you also have to get the caliper piston to release a little bit. Yeah, there is some uneven wear. I didn't see that. Yeah, so you needed brakes anyway. Looking at the outer panel, I didn't even, because the caliper felt like it was sliding good. Matter of fact, when you hit the brakes, that's what it does. It slides too much. But got some uneven pad wear and a little bit of a lip on the inside, so good. I'm glad I didn't talk about changing the pads too. That's that. Parts aren't here yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and take all the brakes off. I might even start doing the valve cover if they still haven't arrived by then. 18mm. Oh. Someone's getting stoned out in the parking lot. I smell it just now. Got in the car, closed the door, and now I can smell weed within like 30 seconds. think he's got a coolant leak. It's in a black envelope as if it was left, but he's been sitting in the car on and off this morning for about an hour. Maybe he's not leaving it. Man, it freaking reeks now. I gotta turn my fan on. One guy's smoking cigarettes out front, another guy's smoking weed. My brother-in-law died from lung cancer just recently. I mentioned that already. Don't worry, it won't happen to you. It's everyone else. You have magic lung tissue and stuff. Nothing's going to happen. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay because you want it to. Holy crap. I did not do this. I just went to go pull the rubber cap off. This is what's holding the caliper on the top. I didn't loosen that. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, it's bad enough to leave it loose, but you don't put the plastic caps to go into the rubber tube. When you're done, you put the plastic cap in. So if they would have completed the job and put the plastic cap back in, they'd have realized they didn't tighten the slide pin bolt. How dumb do you have to be? I hope it wasn't done at a professional well. It probably was. There are good mechanics and there are not so good mechanics. There are good DIYers, there are not so good DIYers. On the good news front, look at this. We're busting out a brand new can. I hope this is not purple because I will send it back. Oh, nice. It's kind of a creamy orange color. I don't know why it's different. Reduces noisy braking by 99%. It says it right on the bottle. I wouldn't exaggerate. I'm absolutely amazed. I mean, I won't say I've never left a bolt loose my entire career. I will say I've never left a brake caliper bolt loose. You really have to be paranoid about that kind of thing, probably, to avoid it, because I mean, you can make excuses. We get pulled in all different directions, etc., etc., etc. It's for brakes and suspension. Yeah. And if it's a hassle to double check your work, do something else. You know, if you're a plumber and you forget to tighten something, you get a water leak. If you're an electrician, you forget to tighten something, it could start a fire. But usually, something just won't work. If you're a mechanic and you leave bolts loose, bad stuff happens. Alright, I need to be in a better mood. Let's cheer up, put on a happy face, finish tearing this car down. I hope our parts will be here soon. Let's do that. You gotta clean up these hubs too. Definitely don't want to take any risks when you're dealing with pulsations, although they feel pretty good. All of this is below the edges that it lays on. This inner one's a little concerning. Glad he approved the work. Who knows if someone would try to find a way to blame me for that loose bolt, even though I didn't do brakes. You never know. I did do a brake inspection. And I felt the pulsation driving. No noises. No. Oh my goodness. Move on. Moving on. Moving on. I didn't think that was metal. It's got metal in it, I guess. Plastic with metal under it. I told him it might need coil boots because the valve cover's leaking so bad. I put the word profusely on the ticket. That's how bad it's leaking, profusely. So we'll see if if they got me coil boots like I asked. If not, we'll clean them up real good. Do the best we can with what we got. Yep. Some kind of sensor. Might as well pull all this harness stuff out of the way. Okay, I hear you. You want to be a tough guy? Huh? Be a tough guy, I'll be like Jake Gyllenhaal or one of those guys. Put it to you. Jason Statham. One of those guys. You get the idea. Man, this harness is well connected. Let's put it that way. It's like it's in the mob or something. That should be good. I think I'll pull this off. I thought this was going to pop right off, and I just leave the camera running because my hands are all oily now. But now, it should be a matter of pulling the coils all the 8mm around the perimeter out. This thing should be out. That one's not too bad. Yeah, that one's got some oil. Any of them with a little oil on them, I would change them. Although these aren't hard to do, so you can do them later on if you have a problem. But if you do have a problem, it only gets more expensive. Like you know, if you drive it with a misfiring coil and you go a few days because you're busy, next thing you know, you also need a catalytic converter, that kind of thing. Oh, that one's a little too deep for my socket. Cool. I got one longer than that.
$8mm for fitting. That's fine. That was probably 8mm too long, I'm guessing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Make sure these are all out of here. Oh, there's one in the front corner I didn't get. That's why I double checked. Fuel lines on it. Silly me. I didn't realize a plastic valve cover could brace a fuel line. Oh, uh-oh, that's gone. I got more of them, don't worry. It only takes one of these bolts, a quarter of a thread, to be hanging up. Give you a hard time. Tow trucks out there getting something out of the grass. It's stuck to these solenoids. Yeah. Gracious goodness. There it is. Ah, finally. Off to the parts washer. He's taking the Ford Escape. It's been out there for about 2 months with a contaminated fuel system. They had an adjuster come out yesterday, and then today they're towing it out of here, I guess. It sat out there so long. Someone, you might remember someone put sugar or something in the tank. We had foreign materials in the gas sample that Joe took out of it. He worked on it, not me, but I did film a little of it. We had 3 different substances in the sample. Looked like fuel, alcohol, and some kind of sediment, which we assume is sugar or something like that. It made somebody mad. And now it's sat out in the grass for a couple of months while the insurance company and the owner of the vehicle and the bank all kind of argued back and forth who's going to pay for it. So now the fuel pump doesn't even turn on. So whatever is in there seized up the fuel pump. So you can't even get a fuel sample. So now we said, well, we got to drop the tank if you want a fuel sample, and someone's got to pay for that. And here they are taking it, towing it out of here, I guess. Probably mad at us for one reason or another. But nothing we did was wrong. All we did was try to get them to cooperate so we could fix that vehicle for the customer. And nobody wanted to really bear responsibility, which doesn't make it our responsibility. It's someone's. What do you guys think? If someone puts sugar in your gas tank and you break down, you bring it to a shop, and you can spend 2 months hemming and hawing with the extended warranty company, your insurance, the bank, blah, 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 and the shop, who do you blame? I mean, honestly, it's the person that put the sugar in the tank. When I find out who that was, get them to pay for it. The people who do that type of stuff normally don't have any money. So, I'm going to cover this. Stop flapping my trap. Clean this. You got to put some RTV in here. I want it nice and clean. Cleaning all these gasket surfaces real good. No parts are here still, so we'll just go over this a few times, make sure it's really good and clean. Maybe by then the parts will be here. Goodies are here. Not all of them. I'm not going to put the plugs in yet. I don't like to do that. You guys might know. Just a chance for something to fall into the cam areas and stuff like that. So I'm going to get these ready to go. Put them on the runway. We'll get the valve cover back on. We'll turn on the studio lighting. And then we'll go ahead and do the spark plugs after the valve cover's on. Maybe by then the rotors and pads will be here. Got some Felpro gaskets. Don't cut the Felpro gaskets. This one I know goes right here. There's a curved part somewhere. There it is. That goes down in there. Wasn't expecting the gasket to be so skinny. Oh, we got new seals for the cam phasers too, cam solenoids. See if we can put those in without cracking the valve cover. I asked them to see if they can get a valve cover, but that's not what we did. These valve covers, sometimes when you change these seals, you put cracks in the valve cover and it ends up leaking. So sometimes I won't even change them if they feel okay, if the rubber's good. But we'll see, I haven't decided yet. It's going to be a surprise. You just told me, oh, the valve cover's on the way. It won't be until 2 o'clock though. So I decided to put the spark plugs in. Napa Gold. Nothing but the best stuff up in here. Look at how pretty it is too. So basically the brake parts are here. The valve cover, not so much. But we got brake parts. I already pushed this piston back. I opened the bleeder to do it. That's why I got the drain pan there. It looked like the master cylinder a little over full. Someone topped it off. Been a little busy while you were taking a rest. Got a oil cooler housing leaking coolant on the old Dodge Charger. 247,000 miles. Got bald tires. Gas lights on. Got my glaucoma treatment. We're all good right now. We'll see if we're going to do any more work on that one. Oh, that Ford Escape over there got a bad motor mount. I road tested it. I heard a vibration when you hit the gas. It just and it kind of goes away every time you accelerate. The motor mount dropped so far the motor's kind of feels like it's in your lap hitting the firewall. But now you're caught up. We'll see if we get to do any work on those cars, and of course I'll film a lot more of it if we get to fix something. I had to run my eBay sale. I sold a little tripod set. I had ordered little tripod stands a while ago from, I think it was Amazon. I ordered one, they sent me one box of 4. That was from, gosh, I guess I've had those things 3 years. That's the last one I sold yesterday. I didn't realize it was still listed on eBay. They must have kept re-upping it when it expired. I mean, I've had it listed on there for 1.5 years. And I got an email last night. Because of unusual activity on your account, you will not be paid until 3 days after your item arrives. I'm like, what? I was tempted to refund the money and not mail it out, but I said, you know what? Someone gets a good deal on it. It's out of my garage. Everybody wins, kinda. Brakes are done. Watch your fingers when you do that. Drop your hand in there and shove it onto the caliper. You might get an owie. It's a bad habit I get into, but luckily nowadays, after a few injuries, I remember to pull my hand out at the last second. I just wanted to point that out in case someone doesn't like that. That's not how you do it. You should grab it by the tire, not really by the wheel. It's hard to teach an old trick new dogs. And we are surrounded by broken Fords and Dodges today, mostly Fords. 3 out of 4 of the cars I'm working on are Fords, 1 Dodge. Haven't gotten approval on the Dodge. I did the AC hose on this yesterday. His alternator stopped working. He came in and said, my battery died. It's not charging. So, we're gonna get it recharging again. Once I get some accoutrements out of the way, we're gonna put the battery in it because it's also weak and the alternator's not working at all. I put my jump box on it. By the time I drove it here, it shut off, timed out. The old girl decided it's time for some repairs. It must be pretty easy because it's an hour for the battery and the alternator, so we'll have them fixed up in no time. Inlet hose clamp. I really don't want to disconnect more stuff and break more stuff and need more parts. And disconnect that battery. My goodness gracious. A lot of cars to fix right now. The Ford Escape with the motor mount, and he approved the rear brakes too, which I'm surprised, but hey, they're like 3 millimeters, so. You have to get my brush over here for that. To get my hat, I think, too, before I get a fried head and aggravate what's left of my shingles. I can feel the sun on it. It's starting to heal up pretty good, though. Battery hold down was upside down. That's interesting. It goes like this. can't hook these up till I get the terminals clean and the alternator in anyway. What do I do now? Oh, there it is. Got a rag isolating the negative. I already cleaned that. Now, let's find the belt tensioner. There's this is just like the van out there, I believe. Bus, whatever you want to call that monstrosity. He said something about doing the belt too. I'm like, what? Does he want to get out of here, or what are we doing? It's hot too, so. I know the lighting's probably not too good. I apologize. I wasn't even going to film it initially, and I'm like, well, my friends want to know. They want to be in the loop. They want to know what's going on. 10s for those guys. And you know what? Mighty Mouse will do it. Oh, they hot. Careful. Careful with your fingers. There's a bracket on the back of the alternator. I loosened the bolt that bolts into the alternator, but I didn't remove it because it's going to come out with the alternator. What the heck was that? Oh. These like to stick to rags. You gotta be careful. It's warm out here without any fans or anything, but I gotta get a light. So you can't see, I can't see, nobody can see. Ooh, wee. She's warm. Alright. One thing I always liked about the Fords, this connector on the regulator faces backwards. I don't know why, but they all do. All the Fords. Faces backwards. Not sure what gave them the desire to do that, but we overcame. So far, so good. Lifting it out of here, that's a whole nother thing. Let's see. Ow. You hit the hood release with your rock hard abs, it hurts. This thing is hot too, man. Ooh-wee. My goodness. What are we gonna do? Ah, come on. Gonna force me to burn myself to get it out? Okay. Alright. All I need now is parts. He said, you know, we're doing the valve cover too. Why are you putting the gasket in that one? I said, well, you got me a gasket. I didn't know you got a valve cover. He said, the gasket doesn't come with the valve cover. I said, are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive. Okay. So I opened the gasket for no reason. I said, they normally come with the gasket. No, it's OE. I said, okay. They normally come with the gasket. Now I opened the gasket for nothing. That's alright. That is alright. Let's do this one. Waiting on the alternator for the F-150. So what I'm going to do is... God, will you stop that and listen? That sounds like a very random song. It's a very random song. I should get a new bottle of RTV. Once you got to poke out the sides, it's kind of sketch, but it's going to take time I don't have, so we'll make another hole. Grab a glop. Grab a glop. Let me tighten this down. I'll pull it off. All right. Got to coerce these down without cutting or tearing them, just gently loving on them. Probably should have put a little engine oil on it. There you go. As I got wet RTV, I got to move my truck, but I'm going to snug this up first because I got wet RTV. I gotta grab the sensors out of the other valve cover, of course. Not gonna come with those, silly. Four coils, an electrical connector. I need a bolt for my little fuel line bracket. I don't know where it went. Oil fill cap. Bracket around here somewhere, a bolt around here somewhere. What the heck would it be? I remember that's the one I dropped onto the bell housing somewhere when I was taking it apart. Remember? I said, oh, I'm never going to find it. I have more. Now I'm curious. I want to find it, but I can't devote much time to it. I got a lot of work to do. I hope the alternator for that truck didn't arrive and they didn't tell me. I'm going to have to go check though. I can't find that bolt. It's not in the engine. That's what really matters the most. Someday someone will find a bolt on the transmission and go, someone left a bolt out. And then after a little while they'll be like, wait, I can't find a missing bolt. It must be extra from Ford. This is basically done. I just got to start it, road test it, verify. I'm going to check on the alternator. We'll be back on the F-150 if it's here. I said, is my alternator here? Yeah, I think it's on the truck. Yeah, okay. Thanks. Like a well-oiled machine, baby. Like a well-oiled machine. Hang on. I gotta tighten your magnet, otherwise you're gonna fall. I don't want that. I don't want you getting hurt on the job. Next thing you know, we got workman's comp and HR involved. Big old mess. Let's hope it's the right alternator. Oh, jeez. Feels right. That can fall. I don't want the alternator to fall. Some units may require the original pulley. This one might be slightly smaller. Just a hair smaller. That means I have to swap it over. We don't want to mess with any of that stuff. I think it's a 15/16 socket. 24 millimeter to you kids. And the factory nut is a lot nicer than the original one. So guess what? they can have theirs back. Man, that thing's seen better days. I want to hit this hard. Just love it on. Love, 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 love. Perfect. They can have their little baby pulley and their little crappy nut and their core. Listen, man. Threads are not the greatest on this reman alternator. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna regret changing the pulley over like a good boy. I should have left the wrong size one on there, huh? Is that what you're telling me? This is my punishment? Alright, let's get their crappy nut. See if that'll make a difference. Oh my goodness gracious. It doesn't have to be difficult, does it? The crappy nut fits. My sweet OEM nut doesn't work. Okay. Plug in my backwards plug. I get a kick at it every time. I'm like, why not just face it the other way? You make the molds, you control all that stuff, and you put it on backwards. I don't understand that. Engine's still hot. Hasn't been that long, I guess. Put that valve cover on and some other things. Got a couple more things to do. Got to feed a new belt in there, which will be fun. Make sure it's the right length, or at least close to it. It's not a precise way. Oh, wrong belt. You saw that coming. Can't get the right belt for an F-150. Then he said, go ahead without it. He said, do you think it needs it? And I said, no, it's fine. He said it was squeaking sometimes. I said, well, that's different. If we can get a belt, no, just do it without it. Okay, that's what we'll do. Do it without it. I got to get this through. This is another cool idea the Ford had. You got to feed it between the pulleys and then open the loop up below to get it around the compressor. It sounds silly when you say it like that, doesn't it? Once you realize you don't have to loosen the tensioner like I used to do years ago. I was like, man, you gotta loosen the tensioner to do this belt. And one of the older guys was like, hey kid, let me show you a trick. He squeezed the belt, pulled it out. I'm like, oh, I feel silly. None of that really happened actually, but it makes the story more exciting. Oh, my light's getting warm sitting on the engine, huh? Something's happening. Holy moly. I thought that bus had a special tension. I don't remember them being this hard, but I guess it is, huh? have to get a longer ratchet. This thing's, it's kind of crazy. I feel so much stronger. Give me a lever long enough, I can move the earth itself. You never said that? Give me a lever long enough, I can get this ratchet back. You got to really kind of cram the 1/2-inch ratchet in this Ford tensioner, like I mentioned earlier. It's really like between 3/8 and 1/2 inch for some reason. We don't design them in the repair world, we just deal with the consequences. The nonsensequences. This gentleman said it's his last day in the timeshare. So we gotta get him out of here. Won't have to sleep on Ryan's couch. $10mm for the engine decoration. Hook up the ground. Make sure this is charging. Not as easy to earn 0.8 as it used to be. They really are pretty easy alternators, but a little harder in a truck than it is in like a Mercury Grand Marquis. Let me get that battery terminal on there. We're gonna fire it up. Just gentle love taps. Come on! Hey, we got a charged battery off the shelf. That's cool. Oh, it's charging. That's the good news. Put a little smear of RTV on the serpentine bolt grooves. See if the RTV makes a difference. So watch this. That tells me it is the belt. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Alright, customer at the F-150 said he's going to rock it the way it is. He said the belt doesn't look like it's going to break, just an annoying noise. I'll put a belt on when I get home. Ta-da! That was a hard 0.8, hard fought 0.8, I'll tell you what. I think that's an hour. But no squeaky belts. All last connector, all the push pins are on. The road test away from getting on the old Ford Escape after this one. Gotta get that mount out of there somehow. That's what it looks like. See this gap here and here? I'll show you what that one looks like in a second. Let's just say, it feels like the engine's sitting in the seat with you. Now, this might take a variety of toolages. Always take out the bolts from the side of the mount that rests on something, because that won't go anywhere. When I loosen these, it might lower the engine, but I got the engine supported by that jack you saw. The problem is, this is going to be close. Going to be close. Honestly, wasn't expecting it to work. I'm normally overly positive. That time I was overly pessimistic. You get all the spectrums on this channel. All of them. see that one versus this one. So I think we're going to be in good shape when we're done, but we'll see. The only way to be positive is to do the repair that you suspect is going to fix it. Let's see. I was thinking I was going to take this coolant bottle out, but it's literally, these studs go right into the cylinder head. I wish the nuts would have just came off instead, but I'll get all the bolts started and I'll let the jack down. First I'll tighten the motor side and the frame side last. Oh, dang it. Won't tighten it the last half a turn. I got something for that. We're gonna double joint it like a circus performer. There you go. Now I gotta do the rear brakes too. You can see how much higher the engine sits. It's actually flat now. The engine was sitting like this before with this bad boy in there. This was literally laying on the bottom of the mount here. So, all right, feeling good about that. Let's do some brakes. You guys getting tired of brakes yet? I'm not. Got some uneven pad wear on this one too. That inner pad, you're like, hey, I don't need brakes, Jimmy, what are you doing? The outer pad, well, it's about 3, maybe 4 millimeters. Customer said, oh, okay, go ahead and do it. Honda Fast and Furious, bro. I know, guys, you guys are probably getting pretty bored of brakes by now, but pays the bills. Pays the bills. And it's one of the most critical kind of repairs, really, but it's also very easy. It's not really complicated. You're not straining your brain trying to figure stuff out. You just cleaning parts, putting parts back on, lubricating stuff. Oh, I think I put my 7mm away. I'm going to need it again. The fact of the matter is, electric parking brake. You guys might know. Let's have a seat. I got a chair right here. Might as well sit down. Uh-oh. Two options. I used the wrong off. Funny story. I was certain I put the 7mm Allen back. I went over to my cart. I'm like, where is it? It was right here next to me. I didn't even look. I was so confident I had put my tools away, because I always do. Well, I usually do. But that's why it's got some uneven pad wear. A little bit of the new orange goo. Slide cavities. A little bit on the pins. I'm just gonna knock this out right now. So we know that part's done. I can get used to this sitting down while you work stuff. Allen, that comes off. But, like I've mentioned, if you're gonna do it this way, you should unplug the electrical connector in case the car goes, oh, a wheel turned and it puts on the parking brake or something crazy. Most cars, if it's already off when you shut it off, then the system isn't gonna do that, but much rather nip it in the bud ahead of time. Pro tip, if you try a 6 and it's too big, go one smaller. And if it was way too big, go 2 smaller. Now it's not plugged in, the harness is attached. From the factory, it's glued to it, never mind lubricated. They want it stuck. Looks like a 14mm on the pad bracket. these little notches in the piston. Just like with a conventional cable operated brake caliper. The only difference is the motor actuates the system inside, not the cable. And some people have said you don't need to take that motor off, just wind it in like a regular caliper. And I haven't had the gumption to try it yet, but I believe that's the case because I was watching to see if that would turn. I intentionally didn't unwind it first like I normally do, just to see if it turns. And this doesn't fit the piston perfectly. Special new tool you got to buy for it, but it's close enough. Listen, man. It's winding. I didn't have to take that motor off. Oh, there it goes. That's different. And now it feels like it's bottomed out. So now I want to unwind this. I'm gonna have to get a wrench, 7/8 wrench. There's tow trucks all over the place out here. What the heck's going on? Alright, 15 on the pad bracket. And I can get used to sitting in a chair at work. I'm really liking it. I'm not even kidding. It's amazing. Get a razor blade and scrape off some of that glue, I think. I'm thinking you either want glue or lubrication. It looks like, according to the Ford Motor Company. Either or. Where was I? Man, I'm tired. I did a lot of work today. I think I did 22 hours today. And again, this looks perfect. Nothing to be concerned about. It's all as sober as a Scotch block pad can make it. Come here, you. Yeah. I got a new home I want you to see. I'm tired, what I'm saying. I'm a little punch drunk. Why don't I get a wheel nut and just hold the rotor in place? I don't know. It's kind of a rhetorical question because I'm not gonna. I don't care how many hours it takes. I'm not doing it. Nope. Not gonna do it. I should have just done it. It took forever. Don't worry, I'll edit it down. Make myself look like a genius. These are platinum, so you know they're the best. Don't be like that, man. Awful lot of noise coming out of them safeties, huh? Those are some serious safeties. Those are incredibly safe safeties. Sorry about that. When this is new, you really got to be careful. You don't get overly generous with the grease. One wheel's done. See if we can get both rear wheels done tonight before I poop out. I don't have to worry about having both bolts in because that O-ring and housing is precise. So if one bolt's in, the other one lines up, I think. We'll find out in a second here and see if my theory's right. Alright, one wheel done. Alright, now one wheel's done. I did open the bleeder, make sure there was no air, and make sure clean fluid came out and all that. Ooh, it feels heavier at the end of the day. One thing I don't know if I mentioned on the other side, the inner pad has a spring on it, the outer pad doesn't. Fast and Furious racer guy. I did not pull the motor off on this side, just for fun. Worked like a charm. Gonna make sure there's no air and the fluid's nice, just like I did on the other wheel. Looks good. Yes, you can put that spring on with the wheel on, I just found out. I'm getting tired. Alright guys, we are done for today, and the fan's even off now. Big day today, we got a lot done. Got to do an induction service on this tomorrow, and then it's done. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Appreciate your support. Thanks for helping the channel get over 30,000. It's all because of you guys. That's why I keep doing this. I'm not getting rich, but I'm enjoying doing it, and I just have a lot of fun making new friends, trying to help some people out, and I learn things too. So that's why I keep doing it. So torque the like button on the way out if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you're new, you just found the channel. More than anything, I hope I see you in the next video, because you're awesome.